Hi everyone, I'm Amala. So welcome back to our channel. Today's topic is cheese production from milk to maturity. In this lecture, we will explore how milk is transformed into a cheese using microbial fermentation, enzymes, and carefully controlled steps. Let's begin. Cheese is a very popular and ancient fermented dairy product made from milk. The basic idea behind cheese production is coagulation of milk protein, separating it from the whey and aging it to develop flavor and texture. This process is uh, making by beneficial microorganisms, especially lactic acid bacteria, along with enzymes like rennet. Cheese is not only delicious but also rich in protein, fat, minerals, and it has huge commercial importance. Cheese production combines traditional dairy practice with modern microbial sciences. So, controlled fermentation ensures safety, rich flavor, and long shelf life, and diverse cheese varieties worldwide. It's a fermented dairy product with a different flavor and texture. So it contains 120 calories, 8 grams of protein, 6 grams of saturated fat, and 180 milligram of calcium. This cheese produced by coagulation of milk protein casein using the rennet enzyme. We can use any milk. Cow milk, buffalo, goat, and sheep milk are used to make cheese. Milk has two main parts, water and the solids. The whey is the correct name for the liquid and curd is the name for solid portion. During cheese making process, the bacterial enzymes or rennet are used to make acidification of milk first. This rennet enzyme it causes the casein protein in milk that became coagulate together and it is separate whey and curds. The curd called curdling or clabbering. The solid curd are then removed from the cheese using the cheese cloth by filtration method and drain the whey portion. And herbs, spices, and wood smoke are also used as a flavoring agent to make cheese. An example, so lemon, annatto seed, cherry, peppermint, ginger, black peppers, carbace, garlic, chives, cranberries, aromatic oils, so clove, spearmint, rose, raspberry, maltone are used as flavoring agent. And ingredients are used to make cheese. Milk, coagulant, and flavoring agents are important. The main ingredient in cheese is a milk. The type of coagulant is used to make cheese depends on the type of cheese. For acid cheese, the acid source such as acetic acid like vinegar or glucano delta lactone, a mild food acid, is used. For rennet cheese, calf rennet or more commercially, a rennet produced through the microbial bioprocessing is used. And calcium chloride is sometimes added to make cheese to improve the coagulation properties of milk. And flavoring may be added depending on the cheese. Some common ingredients including herbs, spices, hot and sweet peppers, horseradish, clove, spearmint, rose, raspberry, maltol, annatto seed, cherry, peppermint, ginger, and port wine are used. And starter culture. Starter culture are used in early stage of cheese making process to enhance the coagulation process by lowering the pH prior to rennet addition. The metabolism of the starter culture contribute desirable flavor compounds that is helps to prevent the growth of spoilage microorganism and pathogen during processing of cheese making. These are the example of starter inoculum that is used to make a cheese. Example for bacterial strains, Lactococcus lactis subtilis, lactis or cremoris, Streptococcus salvaricus subspecies thermophilus, Lactobacillus delbrueckii subspecies bulgaricus, Lactobacillus helveticus and Propionibacterium and Lactobacillus casei, Lactobacillus plantarum. Sometimes yeast and mold are also used to enhance the color and flavor. These are the example. Sometimes yeast and mold are used. Torula yeast is used to smear for the ripening of brick or Lemberger cheese. An example of the mold include Penicillium camembert to produce camembert and brie cheese, and soda Penicillium roquefort mold is used to make blue cheese, roquefort cheese. And first step of cheese making, first collection of milk. The milk is collected in a sterile container and check the quality of milk, especially protein and fat ratio are standardized before cheese making. To optimize the protein to fat ratio, it, it helps to make a good quality cheese with high yield. Next, pasteurization of milk. After the collection of milk, the milk may be pasteurized and reduce the number of spoilage microorganisms and improve the environment for starter cultures to grow. And low temperature for long time LTLT pasteurization or HTST pasteurization. LTLT, the milk is heat 63 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Low heat pasteurization, and HTST, high temperature short time. It is a high temperature pasteurization. The milk is heat 71.7 degrees Celsius for 15 seconds. So after any pasteurization process, the milk is immediately cooled to 5 degrees Celsius or below. And next step, incubate with starter culture. After pasteurization process, the starter LAB bacteria culture is inoculated into the milk at 90 degrees Celsius, that means 32 degrees 90 degree Fahrenheit, for 30 minutes to ripen the or multiplication of microorganism. The ripening step allow the bacteria to grow and begin fermentation, which lowering the pH level of milk and develop the flavor of the cheese. Add rennet enzyme and make curds. The enzyme rennin is obtained from the stomach of young calves. So added to raw or whole milk in liquid or tablet form, it causes the milk protein casein to clabber. That means it will coagulate each other. The rennet, it is an enzyme that is added to make milk protein to form curd. After the rennet is added, the curd is not disturbed for approximately 30 minutes, so a firm coagulation form. And cut and heat the curd. After the curdling formation, the curd is allowed to ferment until it reaches the pH 6.4. The curd is then cut into a cheese with a knife into make into a small pieces and heated 100 degrees Fahrenheit, that means 38 degrees Celsius. The heating step that is helps to separate whey from the curd. The clabbered milk is cut with a knife into a cubes. Drain whey and texture the milk. The liquid whey is drained off from the curd, which are then crumpled into a pieces. If you make cheeses at home, you might use cheesecloth to drain the whey portion. This step is called cheddaring. The cheddaring helps to expel more whey, so allow the fermentation to continue until the pH 5.1 to 5.5 it reached, and allows the mat to knit together and form a tighter and matted structure. The curd mat are then milled, that means cut into a small pieces. And next step, add dry salt. The curd pieces are put back in a vat or a container and salted by sprinkling the dry salt on the curd and mixing in the salt or salt solution. Then make a cheese into blocks. The salted curd pieces are placed in a cheese hoops and pressed into a block to form the cheese. And final step, aging of cheese. So before being sold and eaten, the cheese must age from 60 days to several years. During this process of aging, that means the curing process, the tough rubbery texture of green cheese develop into a tender waxy body of fluffy ripened cheese. During the aging of cheese, the cheese develop an edible ring. The cheese aged for a short period of time had a mild flavor. If the cheese longer aging period produce an increasingly strong or sharp flavor, the sharp cheese are drier and more crumbly than mild cheeses. After a cheese completed its aging, It moves to the finishing and packing stage, the final step before it reaches consumer. Here, the cheese is the first check for the quality, its texture, aroma, moisture, and overall appearance of cheese. If required, the rind or surface is washed, wax coated, or oiled depending on the cheese varieties. Then it is trimmed and shaped for uniform size. Finally, the cheese is packed and sealed airtight, usually by vacuum wrapping or wax coating to protect it from contamination and drying. It is labeled, stored in cold condition, and then sent to the safe distribution to the market. This step is essential to lock in the rich flavor developed during the fermentation and aging, while keeping the cheese hygiene and market ready. Thank you.